I recognize the honourable leader for the official opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Since October, there have been 8 confirmed deaths as a result of intimate partner violence in our province. Another one just recently. This is an epidemic. Urgent action is needed. Organizations like the Transition House Association of Nova Scotia have been asking for stable core funding for years, and they have still not received assurances. Long-term predictable funding will provide life-saving services to those experiencing gender-based violence. 8 lives have been lost since we passed legislation to declare this an epidemic. Why hasn't the government acted with epidemic-level funding?
I recognize the honourable minister responsible for the Advisory Council on the Status of Women.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the member opposite for the question. We will always want to do more in this area, and I want to just acknowledge that intimate partner violence and gender-based violence is an epidemic and it needs to stop. That's why this government last year identified and named it as an epidemic. In terms of the funding and the epidemic level response, we are seeing that both in the dollars that we invested last year with a historic investment, the biggest one in over 2 decades, and $103 million across all of government. So it's not just a singular budget line item in one department, it's all of us across government and an all of society approach, which is the biggest change that you can possibly achieve. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the honourable leader of the official opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Many frontline organizations disagree, and one-time announcements and status quo funding bundles are not stable core funding, and the minister must know that. The most recent budget lets down hundreds of thousands of women and gender-diverse people across this province. There is no new spending to address gender-based violence, and there is no increase in core funding to support the organizations that are doing the work, and Nova Scotians deserve better. Will the Premier provide increased, stable, core funding to these frontline organizations to help save lives in this budget? Yes or no?
I recognize the honourable minister responsible for the Advisory Council on the Status of Women Act.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the member opposite for the question. So the investments that were made as part of the 2024-2025 budgets are investments that we will stand by year after year. We're standing by the investments, but also we're changing the system. And when you're talking about changing the system, that's a huge part of the discussion. That's a major overhaul. That's cultural change, that's societal change. And that's something to really speak about and be proud of. Do we want to do more every single day? Absolutely. But every single person in this government is taking a piece of that work and applying it to their day-to-day work and seeing it show up in every single department. And I'm proud of that change, and there's more that we want to do, but we'll continue to work hard every day to make that change happen.